This is the MasterLock 141, and I'm going to be walking through how to pick this lock. This version is the 141 DLF, the laminated version with a slightly longer shackle. And this is one of my favorite locks to recommend to new people just getting into lock picking. It's only got 4 pins. It's got a pretty open keyway to be able to navigate your pick around here. And the pins, I personally think, have really great feedback for learning how to feel what a standard pin set feels like. So I'll personally be using top of the keyway tension. I'm a left-handed picker, so for me that comes in upside down here, and I just kind of push this way, but also slightly this way, just to kind of keep this in line here. I'll just be using a cheap Amazon pick. It's a deep hook that I've kind of made a little bit skinnier just to be able to fit into more types of keyways, but honestly any pick that you have will be good for this lock. So the first thing we want to do is we want to understand our keying. So our first key, or our first pin, is going to be a little bit of a deep cut, so we want to make sure that we're not oversetting that as we go into our higher set second pin. Our third pin comes a little bit further down, and our last pin is going to be a low set again. So we want to keep an eye on that and make sure we're not oversetting those pins as we go through here. So I'm going to start at the very back, and I'm just going to feel each of my pins. So I'm just going to go over them, make sure I understand where they are, and just run the pick over them, get used to traversing across the pins here. As I'm doing this, I can kind of feel that 1 and 2 feel pretty soft, so that kind of tells me I'm going to be starting at the back. So I'm going to start with 4, and right away you can feel that that's set. I'll give you a close-up of that as well, so we can kind of get used to what that feels like. So I'm on pin 4 here, I'm putting just a little bit of pressure, and we're in place. So if I do a little bit less pressure, you can't really hear it as much. And if I do more pressure, it's a pretty clear click. But once we start getting into trap pins, spools, serrated pins like that, it's going to be a lot harder to understand the feedback you're getting. So if you can find a comfy pin like this where you can just reliably set it over and over, get used to setting it at different tensions, and you'll start to get the hang of how to pick individual pins. So now I can feel that pin 3 is giving me some resistance, so I'll try and pick that as well. Got a click pretty comfy. I think that's set where I want it to be. And now 2. Just a little bit too much tension on my end, so you couldn't really hear that. I think we overset it because of that. There's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just like that, we've got this open. So it's a pretty simple lock, but again, lots of fun to pick, and it's pretty rewarding, even if it is your first lock, just to pick something and have it get open. And it'll teach you a lot about just being able to traverse pins, as well as understanding what it feels like to set a pin in place. Thanks for watching, and feel free to post any questions you may have for me.